Hey traders, Captain Jim James here. Had a request to chart out Uber, and Uber's a great company to be charting out, and it also leads into the live streams we're going to start on Sundays where you chart out your favorite tickers. Uber is a growth company. Whether you agree with that or not, or like Uber or not, it is, and it is following a common pattern in growth companies and the rise and fall of them. So we're going to chart this one out for you and give a quick explanation as to what is taking place. So we're going to put some lines in here, some support and resistance lines. We're going to start way down here in May, or I believe this was May or March of 2020. And then we are going to add some more in. So we've got one right here, one right here. This was an area of consolidation. This is what we had actually we could start way back here. So this is where Uber started. They did an initial rise, right? You had the pre-IPO stockholders that sold out of their positions. This is where we created dip buyers and an investor class, right? And then we had banks that wanted to get in for a run up. So they sold it down to buy in, right, into this area right here. From this point forward, this is middle of summer of 2020, you had lots of consolidation. I'm sure that there were tons of YouTube channels talking about buying Uber. I'm sure some of them were even paid to tell you to buy Uber. Eventually, this consolidation produced a spike into November of 2020. This is a pretty nice spike right here. I'm sure that a lot of you think that this spike, though, came from retail investors. It really didn't. This spike right here probably came from banks and hedge funds. When this took place, you had retail FOMO then enter the fray and drive this stock up. And what took place is you've got all these banks and hedge funds that wound up beginning to take profit at 64.13. So they got in down here at 15.83. They quadrupled their profit and wanted to start to de-risk some of their position, right? They're taking profit off the table and they won't re-enter Uber until it becomes value-driven again. Now, in this process, I believe some of you got caught up in this process. You didn't buy in down here. You wound up buying in up here, right? Or you bought these dips thinking that this was going to continue up. So the reality is when you see these stocks on the move, you want to find out where the original bottom was. So when you're looking at a stock that's on the move, you want to see where bottom was. You want to see how long these banks and institutions and how far they want to take it. This is easy to see looking back, right? Hindsight 2020. That the banks bought in at $15 and 400% is pretty good for them. Now they have to find buyers in this area over here or else no one will buy their position. So they'll drive it back up and sell into new bag holders and new investors. Now, what this creates is a class of investor or bag holder or bottom buyers or dip buyers. When you are unprofitable in a position, it can take sometimes 20, 30% of a higher price of your original buy-in to start becoming profitable. So let's say you bought over here at $58. You now need it at 70 to start making some profit, right? And that frustration grows over time, and you eventually say, you know what, if it ever gets back up, let's say you bought up here and you have this new fall over here. All you say to yourself is, if it ever gets back to 50, I'm going to sell. And so when you have that taking place, we can't really gain good footing. The banks don't care about this, right? And the hedge funds that are shorting know that you're becoming frustrated. So what ends up happening is the banks get the best positioning, right? The hedge funds are working or making money on your frustration. This is your resistance line, right, that you've created, or that we've created, right? We haven't been able to jump over that. We know we had one somewhere in here. We know we have another gap somewhere up in here. Right there, you can see that gap right back here. You have another gap right there. And you're going to look for another one. There's probably a minor support somewhere in here because you see that big gap right there. And you know you have some established support down here. But most of these people have been trying to sell out of their position, right? So how far can Uber fall? Believe it or not, it can fall down to 1583. More than likely, it'll be somewhere in this middle area here. More than likely, major support will kick in if they go fishing, let's say. More than likely, the bottom is 2181, and then you've got 2853. So at an ABC scale, and you'll start scaling in here 2853, 2181, and 1583 would be your last entry, right? So you start making entry down here, continue to add more to your position, and then round off your position for a swing up. If we ever get down this low, right? So you'll make this here yellow, let's say. You'll make this green, right? Just like you're at a stoplight or a green light. And you'll make this down here your last area to buy in case we do get this deep. Now, if you're a bag holder in here, right, you are looking for a few things. Now that you know what your resistance line is, this yellow line, we'll turn this one white so it's not, we'll make it a little bit thicker as well. Now we'll get a little bit closer. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer here. What you're really looking for in this area is you can see up here, you see this jump up and over? You break through resistance, but you're looking for it to stay on this support, which now becomes a support line, and move up and break above the support and resistance lines. You'll see, we'll add one more right in here, probably a little bit farther down. Let's see. Good. Came up here, fell down there, and fell down here, and fell down. It's probably somewhere up in here. We have more trap buyers. Now, these people will get exhausted over time, but I'm going to show you what you're looking for. So right now you're looking for a new retest of 38.89. So let's say we come down here. Let's say we come down here, right? We break over. You want this to bounce off this new resistance level and land somewhere in here and find support, and then make its move up above and away from this area. Is that making sense to you? Before you take a long position. So this here, so you're gonna want to see a bounce here, breaking this resistance, finding support, and then breaking a new support before you take a new long. Now you could move this down below here for the next level. You could move this down here for the next level, and down here for this next level down here. It doesn't really matter where it takes place, but when you're looking to buy a dip on any of these growth stocks, you're looking for this pattern to emerge before taking a long. This is what will give you the clue that we are now going to attempt to make new highs on one of these stocks. You can see here, none of this action took place from February 10th until August 18th. So no, you should not be going long on Uber until you see this pattern take place, some sort of pattern like this. No, you're not going to see a straight shot line up at any point in the future on Uber. So when you have your favorite stock, you start to put these support and resistance lines in, especially when they're falling. You put this nice fat giant resistance line here, and you're looking for a movement like this that holds. You'll see that when you've made a movement over here and it fell back below resistance, that is not a bullish move. Uber is still bearish, believe it or not. Now, what you want to do is when you have these support and resistance lines that you're putting in, you want to set alerts on them. Whatever charting software you're using, you're going to right click it and you're going to add an alert, right? They have it for Webull, TradingView, whatever charting software you're using. You should be able to get yourself an SMS or an email message that says, "Hey Bobby, we're now at 38.89, and as soon as you get that alert, right, you're going to start paying attention to Uber to see if it comes up and down and moves up." You could then set another alert here above for alert that says if it's coming close to this number to start paying even more attention, because you are looking for this movement to get long in Uber, and this applies to almost any stock. This is a fairly common recovery play in stocks that are losing value. Now, in terms of should I keep diamond handing or bag holding Uber, that's a personal decision that I can't help you with. When you hear people say I'm a long-term investor, this is how they're created. If you want to know if Uber's ever coming back, absolutely. As soon as it hits an area of value, somewhere down in this area, you will see banks stepping in to create a position. Now, when this takes place and that we get this jump over and we break through here, you can still expect a time of consolidation before the next move up. So if you can capture this, this is a great move right here, right? If you can capture the consolidation phase down in here, you'll also be looking for one fast move down like this here, right? You'll also look for that one giant move down for the next huge leg up. So even when this move is made, you will see this next move up have one more fast move down, probably somewhere down here to 36.06. Or if we move down here, all the way down, believe it or not, to the low 20s. I hope this helps you, and when you're trading these stocks, okay? So if you're trading Uber right now, if you want to get long, start setting yourself some alert lines down here, and when you see a push up, this is the time for you to pay attention for, and this would probably tag twice before it makes a move up, if not 3 times. It bounce 1, 2, 3, and then shoot up. And that's bears checking to make sure there's no more sellers. All right, so there's my Uber video. I will explain less in this as we make these live stream videos on the weekends. You'll all get a firm idea of what I'm doing here, and we'll just chart them out, and I will send you guys invites via email so that you can have these charts for yourself and you can set your own alerts on TradingView. Have a great day, a great rest of the day today trading, and I look forward to seeing you out there.